were a bit raunchy and raucous.
We kept you on a really short leash.
Nice to be on someone's leash sometimes.
I was going to say, with that hair, you better play an instrument. It is so rock and roll. I love it.
I think she's a they. That didn't come out right. Can you do this for,
People would do
a
anything for a
donut?
t-shirt.
That's like genius.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Rainbow Remix. Once named by LTV as one of Canada's top 10 LGBTQ plus people making a difference, Barb is co-producer and host of QueerFM, which is Canada's longest running queer radio show. You're not going to want to miss this. It's a great interview full of so much information and a lot of fun. So here's part 2 of our interview with Barb Snelgrove from QueerFM Radio.
I was reading an interesting article right before we started this. I didn't get a chance to finish it because I wanted to be on time.
Oh, lovely.
But it was about children letting little kids play dress up, and specifically this one was showing videos of little boys in like the Frozen costume, or those kind of things, right? What some might term Halloweeny, and there's going to be those people that go, well, I don't want to have my kid grow up be queer because they wore a dress.
Yeah.
The amount of different things that it showed that they scored better on math skills as they got older. That there was all these things that make you a better adult by just being allowed to be imaginative.
Yep.
And have to be creative as a child.
Yeah.
And it is probably one of the most important things. It's not just math. It's not just reading. It's not just teaching manners and
Right.
PE, right? Physical education.
Yes.
The creative arts and culture element of raising children is probably, to me, the most important.
Yeah, I believe that, man. My wife's brother. My wife's from Australia, so her brother and his wife have a little boy, and he only has like girl besties. Like he's like 9, maybe is he 9 now? Yeah, I think he's 9 now. But he's only always like connected, with girls and stuff. So would say to his mom, I want to wear a dress because Elizabeth wears a dress, and his mom's like,
Yeah.
fine, wear a dress,
Yeah,
and
who cares?
brother's like, whatever you want, he paints his nails blue and black, and it's just like he's brilliant, this kid. Like he already knows, the planetary systems and stars, and he's into the NASA stuff, and he's always been, like you said, super creative, but there's just been no restrictions on him. So he's free to use his imagination, and he tells the best stories, and
It's so important.
incredible.
It's so
Like,
important to develop that in children.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. We have 2 friends, they're a couple, 2 men, and one of them was having a birthday party. He was turning 40. And we brought Patrick. My nephew was 6 at the time. And, kids are funny because like every time he saw Frank, the one that turned 40, the birthday boy, Frank was totally dressed like a man, right? But at his party, he's got long hair. He usually had it in a ponytail. He had it down. He was wearing heels. He was very much more feminine looking because he sometimes dresses in drag. So at his party, he was like that. And we brought Patrick, and I saw him looking at him because he didn't know what to make of it. But all he said to him was, "Are you a boy or a girl?" Like, because he was dressed like a woman more than used to ever seeing him. And he said, he's Latino and he's very flamboyant. He goes, sometimes I am a boy, sometimes I am a girl, whenever I feel like I want to be. And Patrick was like, oh, okay. He said, that's okay. He said,
Yeah.
I'm a boy, but that's okay if you're a girl today, and it was like really nice because
And then they move on.
And then they move on.
The only thing they did, Jack questioned, his brother, was, what happens to JD's other girlfriends? Like,
the ugliness comes as we grow up.
yeah, and it was nice to see. He just wanted to know, and they move on, like you said. They didn't think about it
They
anymore.
do. They just ask. It's the adults, and again, I referring to it as ugliness. It is the hate mongering
Yeah.
done by not all adults, but that element that has that loud voice.
Yeah.
It is so sad to see because you're denying children. I mean, everything that
Limiting.
they talk about
Yeah.
is rooted in hate,
Yeah.
right? Or fear.
And it
Fear
all
breeds
starts at
ignorance.
home.
Ignorance
It
breeds
all
hate,
starts at
right?
home. Right. You're not
You
born with
know,
that. You're not born with
and you just and it's our job as parents to takes an individual from child, from birth, and raise a well-adjusted adult.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them out there, but man, you just when you see what some kids are like, because none of them are like that until a certain age, until it's well, little Bobby, you can't wear that. No,
Yeah.
no son of mine,
Yeah.
right? That old phrase, all
Yeah.
right? No son of mine is
But
gonna.
yeah, you're right, because it's learned at home and then it's brought to school and it's shared, and it festers, you know what I mean? But it's just it's out of fear. Like I always say, like ignorance creates fear, and
Creates hate.
and
Hate is
then
from all of that,
hate,
right?
and from
Yeah.
that hate is born because they don't understand it, they don't want to understand it, and then it becomes they're fearful of it, and then that ends up producing hate. And I can't stress it enough. It's just when I think about how, I guess, when I was growing up, it just didn't matter. Like
Yeah.
nobody. I had a gay cousin. He was a hairdresser. He worked for Lola Falana in Vegas. He was,
Of course he did.
and every time he was like, every time he would come home, he would bring us gifts, and he always had like, I had like every school picture I have, I'm wearing a shirt that he brought me. You know what I mean? Because it was,
And he dressed you.
yeah,
Had the
it
good
was
fashion.
he always had like the great haircuts because he would come to town and do everybody's hair. But like it was never anything that anybody questioned. Like I never remember sitting around with my dad, my family members, my cousins or anything and saying, "Oh, like isn't Pat weird?"
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
And
was
the
just
funny thing too is that we as queer people permeate everything. This is why the hypocrisy is not
Right.
lost,
That
yeah,
right?
is true.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because it's the food you eat,
yeah,
it's the clothes you wear, it's the
Right.
people who write the shows that make you laugh or make you cry,
yeah,
that design your homes. It goes on and on and
Yes,
on.
that's true.
That there are so many queer people making a difference
yeah,
in this world, and there are so many queer people that these homophobes and transphobes and bigots and have an issue with.
yeah,
I'm like, if we were to get rid of absolutely every queer person on the earth, as you wish, in your beautiful world, it would be an absolutely horrific place, and you would be screaming for us to come back.
Yeah,
yeah.
very
Literally,
true.
It's true.
That's true.
that's the most simplistic way of putting it.
It's
Yeah.
like it's
But
just
we're in everything beautiful seems to have been
Yeah.
touched by a
yeah,
queer
Only
at some
art.
point.
so true. It's so true.
Art.
We were
Yeah.
watching Only Murders in the Building, and after we caught up, I was like, "Oh my God, that was so fast!" Like that the first few were out there, and my wife's like, "There's a show about it's a podcast, and Howard from the show hosts it. Let's watch that." So we watched that. So Howard, flaming queer, out, whatever. The even the guy that plays him, I can't even think of his name, but it's a three barrel.
Yeah,
But
the
so
hyphenates.
yeah, the hyphenates. He hosts it, but I tell you what, he had all the behind the scenes people, the wardrobe people, the writer, the showrunner.
100%.
Everybody's like
Exactly.
they're so gay. Every
Yes.
single one, we were just like, look at the gays behind the scene bringing this great show to life.
Yep.
Like, oh my God,
That is true.
it's
So
so
true.
true.
Yeah. That's right.
See, the
I
costume.
had a gay cousin too growing up, Denise. We lived like we had like parallel lives. I
Yeah,
mean, I had, in other
I
words,
had a
like
gay cousin.
a gay cousin who was out and had a husband and used to come over, and we were little younger, and nobody made a big deal over it, and we knew that they were together, and it was, and he was a commercial artist. He used to do illustrations for like the Meow Mix cat, like he drew him, he came up with that person, like we would see
yeah,
his art on TV, and like he did it for advertisements is what I'm
yeah,
trying to.
yeah,
And they would have the most lavish brunches that they would invite us to, our family, and they would show us their Halloween costume was the big deal. Every year they had a big party in New York City.
Oh
They
yeah, I bet.
Latin gays, so they would be like the Wizard of Oz. They were always like a couple, whatever they were. One year they went as dice, and they both were like a die. Anyway,
Well,
it's it's
it's a
what you
big
say.
gay holiday, isn't it?
The creativeness is
really
was
is. It
so
really is.
gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The,
yeah.
the
And
art.
it is it's just we are the rose-colored glasses.
Yeah,
yeah,
I like
Yeah,
yeah.
that.
We are
I
the.
that
like
that
that.
make the whole world a little bit prettier.
Yeah, so
Make you
true.
Beautiful.
think, make you laugh, make you cry, and make you dance, make you
Yeah,
get up and move, all of these things. And, we're hearing more and more from people when they're speaking publicly, especially with what's going on in the US,
mhm,
that, what are they afraid of? They're
right.
afraid of that freedom. And
Yeah,
when I first heard that, I went, well, they're not free because we're always gone at and we're beaten and we're, and then the more I thought about it, I went, no, that's it.
yeah,
We're not restricted. We're being ourselves.
right.
We're trying to be our best authentic selves.
Yeah,
And so yeah, then if that's freedom and that's what scares you because it still comes back to all of the things that they get so angry about
right.
aren't based in fact. They're
No,
based in fear, but
right,
they
Yeah,
are not based in fact.
right.
yeah.
If they,
And
it just they
like you're
could be.
not gonna catch it.
Yeah,
That kid is, the kid is not going, if he puts a dress on, it doesn't mean he's gonna grow up gay.
no,
No.
not, no,
When you're kids,
no.
you play, you play make believe, I guess is the phrase we used to use back in the day.
They don't even like think the other way. Like they grew up, like what did I hear? Like a gay guy said, I grew up watching Straight Families, the Brady Bunch, and
Right.
Yeah,
Family Ties and everything,
exactly.
and I'm gay. Like
Yeah,
so your kid seeing a gay person on television isn't going to make them gay.
it's gonna make him
Right.
gay.
And if they
Right.
are,
And we
they
could
see
say that
someone
till the
gay.
cows come home and they still don't get it,
It's so
you
crazy.
know?
It's
It
crazy.
really, really
But
is.
that's why what we do, as presenters, as broadcasters, and podcast hosts, we are able to share these people that we come in contact with,
Mhm.
that we love their book, or we love that movie, or we love these, this song or whatever, and share that person, with more people, and then they can say, oh my God, like, I heard about this book on, whatever, and I bought it.
Yes.
So I feel like, the we are the community that needs the spotlight, and these platforms
Yes.
that we've been blessed with, like that's what we do. Like we want to put, it's support, yeah, but it's also like, let me introduce you to, like you
We
want,
need to build our own infrastructure.
yes,
And that
yes,
infrastructure is community. And
yeah,
that is one thing we have always been good at
yeah,
because we've had to be.
yeah,
Yeah.
Before it was done secretly in little back bars.
yeah,
And here's an old tattered worn copy of Peter Chanel Warren's The Front Runner,
yes,
or Pat's Macho Sluts, or
yeah,
there was always torn little books here,
yeah,
past. And it very much fascinates me as well because I find that so much we're starting to see now, but there's no Encyclopedia Britannica of gays or
no,
queers.
no,
We have always told the stories.
yeah,
So it is like those villages where
Yeah.
the elders and seniors pass it along,
right, Right.
to the next generation. It's changed our history somewhat. You
Yeah.
know, for instance, how Stonewall came around. There are differing elements as to how and when it actually went down, and who was responsible for throwing the first brick.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Yep.
but who cares? We're still telling our stories,
Right.
and if
Right.
it's because God knows the gays do like to embellish a little, dear. So if we can make it sound flouncier and all the more entertaining, going back to what we were saying about about
Yes.
us being creative, but it is we've always had to stand up for ourselves,
Yeah.
and we've always had to look out for each other's backs. We didn't have the greater society doing that for us.
Right.
Yeah,
That's so true.
yeah,
Right.
That's how communities form.
Yeah. So I love that I am able to present voices. I
Yeah.
love that I'm able to find people from every corner of the world doing incredible things.
Yeah.
And they're always so appreciative.
Yeah.
Some of the
Humble.
independent artists that we have. I hear countless times, both Denise and myself. We hear all the time. Thank you so much for giving us a voice. Thank you for an opportunity to come on the show and to
Yeah.
talk with you.
Yeah.
We don't set it at 15 minutes. It
Right.
used to be much more, there was much more music on our show years ago,
Yeah.
and it was like a guest. And
Yeah.
now we have two guests, and we'll put in, a couple of new songs. And I tell every person that we ever have on, I always say, that we're just gonna sit and chat and sip the tea and let it flow organically. And however long it is however long it is.
It's the same. We did the same
like
thing.
the same
No
here, like the
structure. No
dumpling.
structure ever. Yeah.
Remember the dumpling dudes? He said the
Yeah.
nicest thing,
Oh,
like,
the dumpling dudes!
you know them? They gave
Didn't
us,
they just
this
didn't they
thing,
just move up to Portland?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. They left
Yeah,
Houston.
know them.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
I
you
know
know,
of them. I don't know them personally, but
Very
oh,
I've got
they
a
were
couple
adorable.
on
of
the
men.
show.
Absolutely
Yeah.
I didn't
adorable.
found them. They sent us aprons, the cutest aprons,
I
but
just
they,
had mine on the other day. I sent him a
people,
picture.
I gotta
Yeah,
send a picture.
I've been meaning to have them on.
There's
Yeah, they're
absolutely
awesome.
adorable. Yeah.
So
And
cute.
they're they started off like building a huge community on Instagram, because of like they were saying they were both from, corporate world or whatever, and then took this left turn during
Yeah,
COVID where they were,
yeah.
doing the dumplings and bringing people
Right.
dumplings and, having dinner with them via Zoom and that kind of thing. And now they're pivoting once again to be like travel dudes, if you will, travel boys. And so they're going to base themselves out of Portland, but they're going to rebrand and
Yeah.
kind of they were sharing the details with us and saying it's a new a new thing they're going to try out. And I mean, like, God love them, because it's very tough to rebrand.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
we did it. We started off like talking. It was a show about whiskey.
Yeah. Whiskey and music, whiskey rock,
Yeah.
whiskey rock lounge.
Yeah, it was whiskey, a little bit of music, mostly whiskey. We realized we were really limiting ourselves.
I have a
So much
lot
whiskey.
more. Yeah, a couple of men based out of Amsterdam, nomadic boys. I used to do a lot more in the LGBTQ plus travel. There's a new Lonely Planet guide. I think they're 2025 LGBTQ guide. I wrote the Vancouver portion of it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Great.
that's
yeah.
great. Yeah, what a great, you're a perfect representative right there.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean, absolutely perfect. I mean, it just makes me want to get there,
It is stunning. It is God, literally God's country, and it's an overused phrase a lot of the time, but it is absolutely spectacular. Old growth forest and nature and everywhere you turn, and mild weather, for the
Yeah,
most part. For the most part,
You
we
have
do
the
we do get a
beautiful
little bit of
garden.
Canada sprinkled in there every year now, as the
You have the gardens, right? Victoria Gardens, the beautiful gardens. Are they there?
Victoria is well, there's Vancouver Island, which is, oh my gosh, it's a mass. People think it's like a little island, and it's bigger than many countries of the world. So there's Vancouver Island, which is off the coast of British Columbia, and
Okay,
that's where Victoria is. Victoria is, of course, the capital of British Columbia,
Right.
okay.
and Victoria is very well. It's very Victorian. It's got all of those kind of things, but they have the Bouchard Gardens there. So I think that might be what you're
See,
talking
that's
about.
might have been where I went to go. We stopped at these. We spent a day in Canada on the way back from a cruise to Alaska. So, and I don't know, it was so long ago, but I know we went to these beautiful gardens as part of the trip, as part of the
Well, it
vacation.
might be Bouchard, but there's also areas here in Vancouver that have like Queen
Maybe
Elizabeth
we're in
Park, and there's the
Vancouver.
Toby Gardens, and but if it was a Alaska cruise, it was probably Victoria that you might have stopped
Oh,
in on.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, right. Man,
Yeah.
yeah, it just, like I said, everything that I've ever heard, seen, followed, it just makes me want to get there so bad. But it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
not really this year because we're moving. We're moving down by Brighton.
you are. You're getting closer to the Mecca.
Yeah, gotta be by our people,
And how did you end up moving to the UK?
My wife is from Australia,
This has
and
turned into a Queer FM interview, apparently. My turn to ask you two the question. No, sorry, you go ahead, Denise.
my wife is from Australia, and she discovered me through the podcast. So all through uni, she would listen to the podcast because she had a heck of a drive to get back and forth to school. So she would just load it up and listen, and finally reached out, and we ended up meeting 3 or 4 years later, and just had a instant connection. And then we did the long distance thing for another 3 years.
Ah, yes.
In that time, one of our listeners from here in London would listen to our story basically, and she became a really close friend. Like, we went on a cruise, and she would come back and forth to the States because she did have business in the States. So she offered my wife a job here in London. Um, Back then, my wife was a teacher. She was a music teacher, and and she moved to London, became a PA, and now she's a project manager. And we still works, for that same friend. So it was all kind of linked through the podcast. We ended up, living. This woman is just amazing. Her name is Hazel, and we call her our fairy godmother. And
You could make that a Hallmark movie and film it in Canada.
right?
And then that'll get you here.
What
So
an
where
amazing story. That's an amazing story, Denise. Sorry, I didn't mean to
So
it
interrupt.
no, no, it
crazy.
really is. My ex-wife I met on Twitter.
Oh my
And
God.
it was because of the show, because at the time we were at the height of Queer FM being so big.
Yep,
And I had like over 100,000 followers on Twitter back when Twitter was
I remember.
worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was constantly back and forth with people, and all of a sudden, she got sucked into joining Twitter, and someone, she had like 18 or 19. She's the first one to say, she goes, I had like 19 followers, and Barb had like 120,000 followers. And she had said, I've been told, she sent a message, she goes, I've been told I'm supposed to follow you. And it kind of just went from there, back and forth. Now, speaking of my ex, who I still live with, by the way, she lives here now. She is such a little Canadian, it's not funny. But boy, does she sound like you, Denise. So I'm going to ask, whereabouts in the Midwest are you from?
I grew up near Buffalo in Niagara
Yeah,
Falls.
because oh my God,
Yeah,
you
oh my
got you
God.
got that one right.
Yeah.
Because yeah, no, Christy was a hockey player from Chicago.
Oh my God. Yeah. Very similar
That's
accent.
why I knew
Very
your
similar.
voice right away. I was like, oh my God, here we go.
Very similar. But I did live in Florida for 30 years, and never,
You didn't
never
pick up
lost it. Never lost
You
the
don't get rid of that voice.
no.
I
And
picked up, and the funny thing is that Christy moved here. She is surrounded by Canadians, and she's been here for 13 years now. She's surrounded by Canadians, and she didn't really get a Canadian accent, but I'm on the air doing Queer FM one day, and all of a sudden I went Nat or Gad or something like this, and she happened to be listening, and she's like, "Oh my God, do you know what you just did?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I can't be doing
the
that."
second it came out, right?
Yeah. So she'd pretend like when she tries to, she's every once in a while she'll say something like, "No, I'm not now," and I go, "What did you just say?"
Uh,
She goes, she goes, "Did I say it?" I'm like, "Yeah, you said it, Canadian, right?"
right?
But when she first moved here, it was quite funny because she tried to pretend, she put on her Canadian accent,
I
and for
do it
some
with the
reason she
Brits.
had to wiggle around like this when she was doing it. And it came, and I'm like, okay, what's with the body affectation you got going? And why does it have a British accent all of a sudden? Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not.
Yeah. I had this awful habit of saying like whatever the last word a character will say on TV. I would, like repeat it, but like in I can't watch the Great British Bake Off without talking like them. Like, well, bike. Is she from Manchester? Like
She's
now,
lovely a bit of all right, isn't she?
yeah. Now,
Ah,
now I'm getting like the Liverpool accent, the Manchester accent, the
yeah.
Birmingham accent. There's so many dialect. Newcastle.
Oh gosh, is there ever? Because
Oh
my
my.
grandmother, who was nothing more refreshing than a cool douche on a hot day. One of my favorite all-time lines.
Very good.
Usually she said that taking a big sip of cold lemonade in the summer or something
Ah,
like that.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, that's funny.
yeah. No,
They-
it's
my-
JD has less of an accent, American accent to me than you do, Denise.
really? Wow. Well, I think I
Yeah,
probably sound more New York. I tried
yeah,
to be more,
yeah.
I tried to do
you got
country
that
music.
Long Island thing going
Long
on.
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
but I played country music. I wanted to be a country music artist, and I wanted to fit in, so I just tried to not say things the way my sisters sound. I think I sound less than my sisters, right, Denise? They're more
Yes.
like you
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
my
I hear
God.
it more in Nancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I consciously do it, but I still never fit in with the Southern thing. I just
I
don't know
tried to
where
picture
I
JD stepping up on stage at the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville. And
am.
it just blows my mind. Like I just think of all them in their 10-gallon hats and their ripped up jeans or whatever, and her walking up there looking like Joan Jett and talking like Fran Drescher. And I was like,
Well,
wow, these people.
I was with Kelly on that trip and I told her, they're going to hate me. I went the night before and I said, I don't look like any of these people. I don't sound like these girls that are getting up there. They're going to hate me tomorrow when I get, but they were very, very nice. But I think one of the stories I tell is the first time I played there were two tables of people from Boca. So, Boca, you might as well be in New York, right?
Yeah,
So
these are all New York leftovers.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just fortunate my people were there. But yeah, it was funny that I thought they would hate me, but they were very inviting. The Bluebird Cafe is
Yeah.
has all different people.
Famous. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't understand how I was the one that was whose voice was changing and not, Christy, who was just dumped into the middle of Canadianism. But like Peter Jennings, right, the former U.S. anchor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was one of the first things because he's Canadian, and so one of the first things he
Oh,
had to do when he went down to the States to take on and be, was it ABC that he was
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
the lead anchor for many years, and he had to unlearn how to speak like a Canadian,
Yeah.
oh,
so that he
smart.
because people would be paying attention to the wrong things and listening to him,
Oh.
right? It's like what the hell did he just say?
My wife has her granddad was born here in the UK, and her mom was raised in the UK before going back to Australia. So her mom has a very British accent, and
Clip, yeah.
dad is literally like Crocodile Dundee. Like he's so
Get
Australian.
I.
Yeah, he is so Australian. So I know when she is on the phone with her mom because all of a sudden she gets a little more proper, and she speaks very British, like way less Australian. But when she gets off the phone with her dad, the
Oh,
Australian is back for
yeah.
a good 5-10 minutes. Good
Oh God, that's what
5 minutes.
Christy's like, because she
Yeah,
speaks to them on a regular basis, and she'll
yeah,
come in, and I'm like, "Dear sweet Jesus, did you just get off the phone
yeah,
with your parents?"
yeah.
Yeah.
They-
Like, oh my God, how could you tell? And I'm like,
it's so true. But my wife's
yeah.
like a little chameleon, man. When she comes with me to the States and we're in a restaurant, and I'll never forget the first time she came to visit, I was so excited. This is going to sound so stupid. I'm saying it out loud. She came to visit, and I was so excited to take her to the Outback Steakhouse.
Oh boy,
Where
you're really going highbrow. What about Olive Garden?
nobody
I just
sounds
can
like her
appreciate
there.
that, right? The Outback. And she's looking at the menu and she is laughing about everything.
Oh, I bet.
And then the waitress comes over to take her order, and she ordered it, and the waitress thought that she was trying to be
To
Australian.
fake it.
And the waitress was like, "Oh my God, everybody does that." She just looked at me like, "Oh." So yeah, I was trying to be super impressive. I bought the Aussie shampoo and conditioner. So she's like,
Oh boy.
that's made in New York." I'm like,
Oh my
And she's
God.
still with you. God bless her heart.
right? But she is like a little chameleon because she can, play up the Aussie. She can, but when she's here, she's like 100% British all the time. But then when we do go back now to the States, she will, instead of, properly saying water, she'll say water. When she says
Oh, really?
water, I just don't want the hassle. I just don't want that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yep.
Yeah, Emma Thompson put it. Does your voice go down? Because Emma Thompson said this one year when British actors or actresses are doing U.S. voices
Yeah.
For a gig, that their voice goes down like an octave
Right.
Oh,
And
when
everything.
they're doing it. So when she said that, I started paying attention to actors that I knew were from the UK. And I'm like, oh my God, she was right. Like especially with the women, it's easier to tell. But yeah, because you've got to go flatter,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
you drop it a notch. Like
It kind of
you
comes out
go
of your
down about
throat.
an octave. And I
Okay.
was like, God damn
Yeah.
it, she was right about that.
Yeah. Like everything seems to come right from your nose, right? So instead of saying hand, you go hand, like
Yeah.
it's a little easy like water and
Doesn't sound as pretty. It doesn't sound as intelligent. Do
essence.
you, I don't know if any of you guys watch The Walking Dead, but when it was first started, I used to watch it. And it was made in Atlanta, but a lot of the actors were British. So I was really
Yeah.
surprised when I heard them interviewed
It's
that
so
they weren't Southern because they had these, Georgia accents. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't believe that guy is in Love Actually.
yeah,
I can't think of his name, but he's a famous
No, I know who was the lead for. Yeah, gotcha.
Andrew
Um,
something. What's
Full
his name?
House. Who's the actor in House? Remember
oh,
Oh,
that TV show, The Doctor House?
Hugh
Yeah,
yeah.
Laurie?
yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
of course you'd know because he's
He's
huge
the
for a million
national
years in the
treasure
UK
over
before
here.
he even came over, hit
Yeah,
went across the pond.
exactly.
But yeah, he's another one because when he started winning awards, and
Yeah, it's very
I
surprising.
always knew because here we get a lot of Canadian content.
Yeah,
And we're lucky we get the best of both worlds because being so close, we get all the ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, all those things from the
yeah,
States growing up. But we also had the Canadian programming, and then we also had a ton of British programming.
yeah. The little BBC,
So
huh? Yeah,
yeah, so we grew up with the Monty Pythons and the Marty Feldmans and the Benny Hills and all of
yeah.
those kind of things, right?
Oh, it's so good. It's really, really. Honestly, like I find like I at first I and don't get me wrong, I have to have the subtitles on all the time when I'm watching like British comedies because again, different dialects from all over. So I
Mm-hmm.
always have the subtitles on. But I do find their comedies utterly hilarious. Like there are some shows on the BBC that I just absolutely love. They're quirky. Their brand of humor is just they hit it out.
Yeah. And Canadian humor is very similar.
Yes, it is.
Very,
Yeah,
very similar because we grew up with that kind of programming.
yeah.
And
More
I
often
heard it,
better. The
years
more
ago.
often.
It was, I can't remember the exact quote, and I'm, talking when I was just a wee babe in arms, but I've always remembered the gist of it, which was that the U.S. style of comedy is pie in the face,
Yeah,
right? It's the physical comedy,
right.
and British comedy was more the nuanced. You have to pay attention to what they're saying,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
it's that,
Because
yeah.
it could be dry and it could be like right on point and in your face, but it's never gonna be like wacky. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
Yeah, and it's a
I think
queer
that movie.
comedy is very much like that. It's
Yeah.
very witty, it's very sharp,
Yes. Yeah.
it's on point kind of. Yeah. Yeah.
100%. 100%. Well, listen, we have kept you way longer than I promised,
This is
but
awesome.
it's yeah.
I don't even know how you're gonna pull all this shit together and make something out of it.
JD is a miracle worker when it comes to this.
My God, the editing skills. Kudos to you then, JD, because it's like we have been all over the goddamn map.
That's what we
What's that,
wanted.
sugar?
That is exactly what we
I,
wanted. Exactly what we
yeah,
wanted. So fun. So fun.
I
You're such
find
a wild
editing
ride.
relaxing, so it works out.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you.
we hope you both, please, if you ever do decide to go on a trip, you will
Oh,
not be
I am
disappointed if you
enlisting
come
you
up
as
here.
yeah, yeah, I'm
Oh,
enlisting
absolutely.
you as my tour guide without a doubt. Without
Yeah,
a doubt.
you
Yeah.
just go and hit up Vancouver and just video.
Yeah.
Start following like Van City vibes because it's just nonstop lately with the amount of nature that is again right in our doorstep. The constant. We had a bumper crop of whale sightings this year, and they come right into town, right?
Yeah, I've heard
Oh,
that.
Because you can hit the water anywhere around town. We have a
wow.
seawall that hits, you can walk, I think it's like 23 miles now. It's almost continuous. You can almost walk around the entire city via the seawall.
Oh God, that is amazing.
And, there'll be people
Honestly, I
out
can't
on
wait to
kayak.
move. Isn't
Yeah.
being like near water just peaceful?
I moved to Germany. I lived in Germany for a while, a number of years back. And I was like, oh, thank God there was water. But I was in Dusseldorf, so you had the Rhine, but I was like, where are all the seagulls?
Yeah.
There's like
Oh,
no seagulls, and they're no, annoying as fuck
Yeah.
when they go out doing their mine, mine, mine. But
Yeah.
man, but you sure miss them when they're gone, right?
Telling you, man. One of the reasons why we put an offer in on this house down there by Brighton, and we
Mhm.
went to go see it the day that we formally put the offer in. And as we were getting in the car, I looked over and I said to my wife, "Is that a seagull sitting on the roof?" And she was like, "I think it is." And I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
this is gonna be good."
this is gonna be
Like,
great. Oh, you're gonna love living there.
yeah, I can't wait. I really can't. It's
Yeah.
gonna be amazing. Well, listen,
When are you moving?
oh, November. We got some time.
Nice time of the year to be moving.
I know, but
You're gonna
right?
be
by Christmas.
pissing out,
Just
right?
want to be
Yeah.
in by Christmas. Just want to be in by Christmas.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Let me just tell you how long it takes. We put the offer in June 14th.
Oh wow.
That's how long it takes to buy a house here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't even get into it. It was brutal,
The
but
onward chain.
Don't
happening.
don't get me started. Don't get me
Don't
started.
get me started.
There's the New York. There's the New
There
York.
it is. That's it. You
Okay,
nailed
Yeah.
got it.
it.
Thank you muchly to both of you. I'm
Uh,
very
Thank
honored that you
Thank you for
reached
doing
out.
this. So appreciate
Uh,
it. We're going to tell everybody get on the ball with Queer FM, follow them, listen, all
yeah.
that kind of stuff. You
And
got
you
it.
do you throw up at the handles when the show is in the can.
Yes,
Yeah.
So at Megamouth Media, you got it.
you got it. And we'll
Yeah.
also we'll also tweet it so that you can, or not tweet it, post it wherever.
Post it.
That you
Yeah,
can,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, you got it.
I've kept my accounts on Twitter, and I go in and sometimes I want to post so bad and I go, no, no, don't do it.
I
It's
deleted it.
there. I'm waiting for the oh God, what was supposed to happen yesterday? What did they call it? The religious thing?
Rapture, the rapture.
Oh, that's it. I'm waiting
Oh,
for
is
the
that supposed to
rapture
be
when he's
yesterday?
gone. Oh yeah.
Yep. Didn't happen once again.
They are all crazy as fuck. I tell you, they really, really are. So I'm basically, I left them there. I don't post on there anymore, but my
mostly
presence is
Instagram.
still there.
Instagram and
But
Twitter.
Insta, Threads, Blue Sky,
Yeah,
Facebook.
you got it. We will put them on all that. You got it.
All right.
Have a lovely
Thank you
rest
so
of the day.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you have a good night, and you have a good, I guess, earlier evening for JD. And
Good time.
hopefully we'll connect again.
You got
Yeah.
it. Take care, honey.
Bye-bye.
Thank you again.
And that's a wrap for part 2 of our interview with Barb Snelgrove. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Too loud, but we scream and we'll never bow. Tears and scars forge this steel. No more doubts, this power's real. We are unbroken, we're the storm. All their rules, we've torn apart the norm. No apologies, hearts ablaze, where the sun